安全理事会第9489次会议现在开始。我提议安理会邀请观察员国巴勒斯坦外交与侨民事务部长参加本次会议。没有人反对，就此决定。
安理会第9858次会议现在开始。本次会议的临时议程是中东局势。议程通过。我邀请也门代表参加本次会议。这项决定。按照安理会暂行议事规则第39条，我邀请下列人员参加本次会议，通报情况：秘书长也门问题特使格伦德伯格先生，人道主义事务副秘书长兼紧急救济协调员弗莱舍先生。就这样决定。
谈大门敞开，打坚决奉陪到底。你可以不喜欢中国，但是不允许对中国肆无忌惮的造谣抹黑和攻击。
世界上没有任何力量，包括美国在内，能够阻挡中国人民实现国家完全统一的步伐。朋友来了有好酒，若是那豺狼来了，迎接他的有猎枪。
中国人从来不惹事，也从来不怕事，不管他们长5只眼还是10只眼，只要胆敢损害中国的主权、安全、发展利益，小心他们的眼睛被戳瞎。
把你们想得太好了，我们认为你们会遵守基本的外交礼节，所以我们刚才必须阐明我们的立场。我现在讲一句，你们没有资格在中国的面前说你们从实力的地位出发跟中国谈话。
中国自主决定在半岛问题上的政策和立场，不需要美方告诉我们如何去做。
Fortunately, the weakness of the previous administration has driven Russia and China closer together. That was a terrible development of a lack of American leadership and a lack of American strength. And you saw it around the world, and it manifests in what we saw on TV last night. But that's why President Trump has charged us at the Defense Department to be prepared to rebuild our military in historic ways, to restore the warrior ethos and reestablish deterrence, not because we seek conflict. We do not. And we've been clear about that with China or Russia or others. But because by being prepared, you prevent it. You ensure that the American people and the homeland are safe. And demonstrations of parades are fine, but they don't hopefully manifest in actually military conflict. So we know what they believe and what they're about. We also know how strong we are and the military advantages we have. They know that also. Our job's to maintain those military advantages in space, in the skies, in the sea, under the sea, and with long-range fires. All the capabilities we have, Golden Dome, which is something China knows they can't replicate, and we will inside this administration. So we're going to maintain the strategic advantage. President Trump has a great relationship with President Xi, and we'll leverage that in hoping to find ways that we can work together. Otherwise, we'll always be.
You mentioned at the top of the show, Mr. Secretary, today is National Purple Heart Day. We expect within the hour to be hearing from the president. 100 different veterans being honored today on National Purple Heart Day. Tell us about what we should expect to see from the White House.
Well, you can't beat the gathering of folks you're going to see today. These are the best of the best in the country. This is a medal that goes all the way back to George Washington. You earn it for being killed or wounded in combat. I'm bringing folks of mine who serve with me who are Purple Heart recipients over at the Office of the Secretary of Defense, maybe soon to be Secretary of War. We'll see. Stand by, because that's what we do. We close with and destroy the enemy. And these Purple Heart recipients are going to be celebrated, as they should be, as we ought across the country in every civic manner possible. You see, we're putting the spotlight exactly where it belongs and where it should be, on those who give up everything, are willing to, for the country. We're proud of it. We give them everything they need. We're restoring the warrior ethos. And I think that's what you see from this. And you know what? We didn't even talk about the recruiting numbers, Will. I mean, in the last 100 days, meaning of the 200, we've set historic records, and that's because courageous young Americans want to do what previous generations did of those recipients who got the Purple Heart. They want to do tough, gritty things to defend freedom. These men and women have done it. We're going to celebrate them today. President Trump loves them, and they love him, and it's a pretty cool thing that we're doing at the White House today.
It is very cool. It's very cool. Did I just hear you say, by the way, is that something we should expect? Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War, Department of Defense, Department of War?
Well, that's what it was for many, many years. You gave me that knife hand, Will. We'll see. Stand by. I don't get in front of the commander-in-chief on that. But our job is to ensure our enemies know exactly what they will do to them if they threaten us, up to and including total war. So.
Does this send to our enemies, to our allies, to the American people? And again, what gave you the idea for this rebrand at this moment in history, sir?
I think it sends a message of victory. I think it sends really a message of strength. We're very strong. We're much stronger than anyone would really understand. You know, we totally rebuilt our military. And then, of course, you had that catastrophe in Afghanistan where they gave up a lot of the equipment, but a relatively small amount, but a lot. I think it was the most, General, I'd say it was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country, the way that happened, the way they went to the wrong airport. They should have gone to Bagram, not the local little airport with no security, with tight quarters, etc. We were going to be leaving, but we were leaving with strength and dignity. We were going to keep Bagram because Bagram's 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. We're going to have that all to ourselves, a big, beautiful place built many years ago from money that today would be the equivalent of, you know, many, many billions of dollars. You couldn't build it. The longest runways, the most powerful runways in terms of load capacity.